The Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks Alive Toy Talk Show. Tonight we're going to talk about whether or not the Haslab Galactus is a must-buy. We're also going to talk about another controversy hitting the Powercon exclusives. And we're also going to talk about those not-so-great Street Shark figures. All of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, on this adventure of toy geekery, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is my good friend John. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
I am doing well on this the last Sunday of August. Time is flying by. It's so cliche, but it's true. Time is a flat circle. Coming up on 2 years of pandemic life, and yeah, it's weird. It's a weird time, John.
It is. We're going backwards a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, it's like the end of Superman 1. Spinning around the earth to save Lois. It's like, for such a great movie, that's such a stupid ending. But whatever. That's a whole nother.
Yeah. There could be a whole other podcast on bad endings.
Yeah, I mean, but you think like if it's a classic film, one of the greatest comic films of all time. But if that was released in today's internet environment, it would have been torn apart.
Yes, it would be.
But, add 40 years of, whatever to it. It's like, oh, it's charming. Oh, it's endearing.
Yeah, that's the free pass.
Oh, man. Anyway, excited to be here tonight. A lot of people in the chat. Wasabi in my eye. Ooh, ouch. That would hurt. KC310 Toys and Collectibles. Kieran Cahill, Automaton, Michael Palmer, scrolling down, Evil Villain, Cobweb, CAF, Scott Baker, Todd Smith. I already did CAF, but anyways, yes, looks like we'll get over 22,000 supporters. Congrats, all clears. We're getting it. Talk about that. That's the first thing we're talking about today. Woohoo! Got a Castle Grayskull today. Good for you, Space Cowboy. BMM 84. Is here. J-Mac spent his funds on a Thunder tank, so no Galactus for me. Prank Super 7 does a good job with it. Yeah, I'm in a similar boat where I've gotten the Thunder tank, and I got that $700 Optimus Prime, but I really want the Galactus. Inlanderos, Free Reign, Nightmare, Adam Smedberg, Gamaliel, Comics, Dartherian is here. Brandon 3G, Preppy 82. Let's see, Michael Gervais, Phineas Bog, Happy Butters Blast, John Rhodes. Holy mo! Sorry, this is like you're scrolling down at like it stalls, and I gotta catch up. Throwback Turtle, T. Ponder, Roberto Colon, Shayna 420, Galactus fully funded. Indeed. I think I got Jack Knight already. Maybe I didn't. If not, Jack Knight, Caesar, Jonathan, Bryant 3B. Alan, Macanita Silva, minifigure collector, Jamie Vaughn. Where did Jamie Vaughn go? There it is. Jamie Vaughn, Vaderade, That Horn, Hung Wen. Gary is here. Jumpin' General, That Horn. And Jason with a super chat for $5. Thank you very much, Jason. I'm guessing it's a silent K. Nedge. Jason Nedge. That's my guess. I had a funny thought now that it's met its production goal. What after it all, but one of the backers canceled their order the day after the cutoff. It's a great question. I feel like that's been talked about, right? Like if that happened.
Yeah. I think that it would get a pass. It would still go.
Just one short. They were like, just push it through.
Yeah.
Better to get all of that money than, I don't know, be $400 short, I guess. Brandon Estrada, first time to see you two live. Well, welcome, Brandon. Hopefully the live experience is just as fun as watching it after the fact. It's the exact same thing. Like literally what we're
nothing changes.
Just posts immediately. My wife Colleen does a podcast and she spends, I don't know, at least 8 to 10 hours editing it after she records with her friends. I was like, you just need to do what John and I do. Like literally hit live, do the show, end it. That's it. Dave Chambers, David B, Black Star Ninja, Bullwinkle 80, Christopher Franchi. I think that's it. I think that's everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but thank you to everyone jumping in and getting ready to talk toys tonight. And our first topic, yes, is of course that this past week the Galactus got backed. Galactus got backed. And
Galactus got backed.
There's, the reason I bring it up is there's 1 day left, right? It ends tomorrow. So if you want to get your orders in for the Galactus, tomorrow's the day. The thing with HasLab projects is you pay on that day. So if you back it, tomorrow's the day you'll get charged $399.99 plus taxes. And I don't know if there's shipping including that or not, but anyway, it hits that day. And but yeah, so we talked about it last week, John. Yep. I really want this thing. One, because the Galactus trilogy, comic trilogy, is one of my favorite comic series of all time, or series of books of all time. Silver Surfer is one of my favorite characters. They've thrown in a Silver Surfer here, and I think $400 is a pretty fair price if you think about how big this thing is.
Yep.
It's like the biggest thing they've ever done. Yeah, here it is. When you're seeing it next to the 6-inch scale figure, it's huge, 32 inches. That's what she said.
That's crazy. I mean, there's been figures that tall, but they've all been lacking articulation. You know, like the Jakks Big Figs, anything like that. We're familiar with something that size in our collection. Mm-hmm. But then add on articulated fingers, just crazy amounts of detail. $400 isn't bad.
Mm-mm.
On top of all these extras.
Exactly.
And especially if you only, say you only want the Galactus. The Silver Surfer is awesome. It's a necessity for Galactus. But what if you already have the Surfer? A Surfer anyway, that you're happy with.
Yep.
You could probably end up selling all the add-ons. And then you'll maybe have $200 into Galactus.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, because I have the Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer, and it's a great Silver Surfer. I like the kind of matte silver paint look of this one a lot. It looks like, a OG style comic Silver Surfer, which looks really cool.
Yep.
Like, it looks really neat. I'm kind of bummed the attachment. I don't think, does it attach to his shoulder? That's what I really wanted, was so he could kind of be swooping in off his shoulder.
I've only seen it where it kind of it can rest on his palm.
Exactly. That's
like I think the cutouts form fit to his palm, but I don't know if it clips on anywhere.
That's my only womp womp, is that I wish it would have gone off his shoulder so he'd be like flying off of his shoulder. That's the pose I would really want with the Silver Surfer. I mean, heck, even the picture that they made, their photoshopped up picture, right? He's kind of coming off the shoulder. That's like what you want, right? So I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, you're spending the money to make this thing, make a cool attachment that comes off his shoulder.
Maybe it'll be a bonus.
Maybe.
But I doubt it, because they'll say some sort of excuse.
Oh, sure.
It wouldn't fit in the box. There's two. It just won't fit.
Just put it in like not even a padded mailer, just like that unpadded plastic envelope thing that they have.
Yeah. Kind of like when they did the sail barge, they sent you a book at first.
Yeah.
They'll just send you like the sweeping effect to attach to his shoulder at first.
The Nova I could care less about. They added these extra bonuses. Is it on here on the page, the Doctor Doom accessories or the faceplate?
I don't think they have that on there yet.
Oh, it was on. I think it's on Toy Arc. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yes, it is.
So again, here it is right here. Here we go. Perfect. 4th tier unlock announced a Doom head. So that's cool. So, and we had another Herald. So the Morg and this Doom head. So they keep adding to it. Again, it seems kind of weird how the tiers, they didn't really do a lot to promote the tiers, I think. I feel like the tiers were really kind of subdued. What do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. They should have at least shown some sort of, all the levels They don't have to tell you what it is, but at least tell us that there's levels, because as far as I knew, like the surfer was the end. Like I thought that was the last to unlock.
That's still all they're showing on the page. So if you're going to just the HasLab page, that's it. It's just the 2 tiers. Tier 1, tier 2. That's it. There's no tier 3 for the Morgue and no tier 4 for the Doom. So it's really weird. Like you'd think and maybe they're just relying on, a lot of these third-party news sites and Instagrams and all that kind of stuff to kind of spread the word, which, to be honest, that's where a lot of us, myself included, get their toy news. But still, maybe outside of that orbit, this should be the source of truth. So I think it's kind of weird. They've kind of half-assed it a little bit in terms of the advertising, I felt like.
Yeah. Well, the Doom thing just came out yesterday, right?
Yes.
Maybe HasLab just takes the weekend off. They'll send out the press release to the outlets and say, we'll update it on Monday.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. But you just said it. I don't know. There's probably some setting you'd be like, if it hits 20,000, just,
right. Yeah. Like an auto update for the site.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's not in the budget.
I did want to call. I think Hung Wen is living through the hurricane right now that has hit, I believe, Louisiana. 150-mile-per-hour winds. So any of our viewers, listeners in range of that hurricane, please stay safe. An insane storm. Colleen told me before we started, it reversed the flow of the Mississippi River. One little section of the Mississippi River. It reversed the flow.
Really?
Yeah. So
it's just like a whirlpool somewhere happening in the Mississippi?
I guess, or the wind is so strong, it's just like Mississippi's like, no thanks. It did was it old man Simpson going to the bar, putting the hat and coming right back out. Yeah. What the Mississippi is doing right now. So please stay safe, everybody there. Doom was revealed today. So yeah, Doom was revealed today. You must get that oof kick in the groin feeling when you see 426 come out of your bank account at one time. Yeah, that's the one thing about the HasLabs that I guess could be a plus or minus. You're dropping that money the second it closes, versus maybe some others where you don't pay till it ships, or like the Optimus Prime, where I'm still anxiously awaiting that $700 hit on my bank account. Luckily, Colleen, I don't think it's watching right now. But
hopefully the Optimus comes out when they say that it doesn't creep any closer to Christmas,
or just wait till after Christmas. Just let's do 2022. 2022.
Schedule after tax returns.
Morgue was yesterday and Doom was today. So maybe your theory is right. The HasLab website people don't work on the weekend. But if they can make these posts, I don't know. It just seems...
I bet they got the posts ready.
Yeah.
For these other sites.
Doomhead's cool. Again, it's a really good set. I think it's a good buy. This isn't like the Razor Crest set, which we both kind of felt was a bit overreach in terms of the 350. Even though it is a big ship, we haven't seen it yet, but it's a big ship that is not going to be a ship anymore. Spoiler alert. But this is an iconic character, one of the most iconic villains of all time in comic book history. Tons of accessories. You got an amazing Silver Surfer, Nova, Morgue, and now some different heads. It's 32 inches tall. It's literally taller than my 3-year-old. I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe. Close. So I think it's a good buy. It's just a matter of, in this world where we've backed, Thunder Tanks, and where, again, you're paying that money up front. And there's other pretty big, heavy hitters out there. I wonder if this gets squeezed, but I wonder if this is one of those ones that we will really, or I will really regret not getting. And I feel like that's the case, but we'll see.
So is that it? Are you saying right now you're not going to order?
It depends. So I have a few things listed on eBay right now. So it's kind of a Hail Mary. Some of those things sell, and then I get the funds, where it's not it's kind of like a wash, then I will pull the trigger. So it's up to, I'm not going to share my personal eBay account because I don't want, I don't want charity. I want someone to legitimately buy the thing if they want the things that I'm putting up there. But so if those things sell by tomorrow, I haven't listed the ad at. I listed that. I have listed the Hot Toys Clone Trooper because it's selling for like over $400. So like if that sells, boom, easy peasy, ready to go. So, so I've got some things posted, and if they sell in time to make the spend a wash, then I will pull the trigger. That's where I stand right now. And and I'm hoping that happens because I do really want this thing. But in a world where we've really dropped a lot of money on toys, I don't know, I feel like this past year, especially on some big things, I gotta be responsible. I can't just spend money willy-nilly.
Yeah. It's been a bad year for spending money on toys.
Right?
I mean, depending on how you look at it, some people will say it's a great year, but I got to say it's a bad year because between Origins, Revelations, McFarlane, it's bad.
Like in my toy hauls today, I picked up some of those. I found some of the new Ghostbusters Plasma Series figures, and I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. But they were like $22.50 at Target. So buying, and I only got 4 of them. I'll reveal the 4 during toy hauls. But the 4 of them is like $100, and I was like, "Dang it!"
Wow, that's it.
I'm still down 2 that I need to get. So, yeah, it's been a taxing time on the old bank account. Oh my goodness, Hung is watching No Power, watching y'all on the phone. Thanks for the wishes. We're safe for now. Y'all making my day. Wow, that's one. Dedication. Hopefully you got some backup batteries for your phone, Hung Wen.
Yeah.
I hope for you, good sir. And that again, you stay safe during this. CFLJ waiting for the check to clear. Exactly. I'll be what's that meme of that guy behind the tree just kind of like licking his lips and just like, you gonna get that PayPal money? Actually, I don't do PayPal anymore on eBay, but whatever. Just waiting for something to sell to offset some of this expense. Comics 1017. Wow, Jay, you're such a responsible adult. Wish I could be more like you. Listen, I am not, but there is a limit. Eventually, there is a limit. Like, hey, I can't just keep spinning frivolously. To go boldly, frustration comes from the fact that Hasbro could easily put this out as a great toy with lights and sounds that would scale well with 6-inch figures without crowdfunding. I think that's a fair argument to be made. But I don't know if it would be as big as this thing is. This is well beyond a retail release, I would think. What's your thoughts there on to go boldly's thoughts here, John?
They could do something, a retail release, but it wouldn't be as articulated. It would have probably fixed hands. It wouldn't have, articulated fingers. Definitely wouldn't have multiple face plates. It could be done, but it wouldn't be as good. It would not be this at all.
Yeah. Yep.
And lights and sounds, I think that's a worn out gimmick.
It is
for something like this.
So my question is, what's better? What do you think's the better angle? A less feature, maybe not as big retail release, maybe half the price. I don't know. Or this.
This is, people have been asking for this for ever, really forever.
Yeah. Yep. So I understand the point. I understand the frustration though, to go boldly. I totally get it. I Brandon 3G. My wall is currently in the ICU. Yeah, exactly. All Music fan. Yes, me too. Bought them all. Good for you, All Music fan, on the Ghostbuster figures. Phineas says, someday we'll show Jay's children this video. He was being responsible with their future. Indeed. Got college funds to fund. And luckily, their college funds are like $5.29, so there's no dipping into those. That's like gone and invested. Smart. Can't leave it open to me to take money out of it. Cool.
I'll just borrow a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just borrow a little bit. I'll pay it back. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm gonna sell that ad next week. Don't worry.
It's money in the bank already. And Landros, Jay, the way Padres keep losing games, you won't be spending money on World Series tickets. So just get the Galactus buddy. You're fair point in Landros. Both John's Red Sox and my Padres have stinking it up lately, but Padres especially have been awful. So
the Sox have too. They went from first to 8 games back.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So it's baseball. That's baseball.
Yep.
It's great because it's hard. So we'll see if things turn, the tides turn for our team. But luckily, being a Padre fan, I'm used to my team losing and not winning anything, so it's no different. Anyway, Armando waiting on that stimmy. The stimmy money's already happened. There's no more stimmy coming out. If there is, again, that goes to the kids. That doesn't go to me. Bernie Davis, Toy Geeks. Hey, Bernie Davis, good to see you. Space Guy Palpatine, do it. Oh man. Comics, I did take on extra overtime at work to support the Thunder Tank and Super 7's Ultimates. So maybe I'm not so exactly. See, there you go. There you go, for sure. Jay, we'll be doing reviews of those Ghostbusters figures soon. Absolutely, that is my plan. I found them this morning, so I haven't had time to really get to it, but my hope is get most of the work done tomorrow, and they will post on Tuesday, the reviews for those figures on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to that. Better be Star Saber HasLab. But we'll get to that in a second. Bernie Davis, I don't need both my kidneys. Exactly. 5 POA. Yeah, probably if it was a full-size, retail release. Maybe get Colleen to agree to increase your allowance. Listen, she's very kind, again, to let me buy these things that I buy way too often. Hung has a lot of battery power pack ready. Good, very good. Didn't Toy Biz make a Galactus back then? Yes, they did. And it's a pretty darn good one. The Build-A-Figure Galactus has kind of been the standard big Galactus, even though I think that they made a Marvel Universe, the 3 3/4 inch scale one, which is about the same size, or was it smaller than the Toy Biz one?
I think it's just a hair bigger than the Toy Biz. Okay.
Frobafett, good point. Invest $400 now, sell for $1,200 later. Seems like a wise investment if you buy it now. Exactly. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Again, if the funds clear in time. Oh, man. Anywho.
You can't count on that, though. You don't know what's going to happen with this once they're in hand.
So, anyway. Where was it space? Dartherian. Here we go. Star Saber HasLab. This is where I'm a bad Transformers fan because I was like, Star Saber, who? I didn't know. I didn't know who this character is. So again, I'm a bad Transformers fan. I'll readily admit it. Victory Saber. I'm blanking on this character.
Yeah, I know almost next to nothing about this. I mean, outside of being a Japanese series figure, that's the extent of my knowledge on this.
I kind of know this lion face guy. That's a different one though, isn't it? Or is that the one?
Oh, it's a combiner.
Yeah, it's a combiner, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Either way, I don't know. It's not, this one ain't for me. But for the Transformers fans out there,
yeah, I'm happy they're getting another one.
And it's cheap. It's only $179.
This is what I might get as the investment. This would probably be a smart investment. For cheap money. But what's the goal on this? What's the target? 11,000?
Yeah, 11,000. So it's see, that one seems like one they were going to do anyway at retail and then went from there.
Yeah, at that price, because they've done all the Titan class. Why is this one getting a HasLab?
I agree. Jason, another super chat. Thank you for that, Jason. I only need let's see, $5. I only need how many more of those to cover the So thank you for that. But I really only want Galactus to stand next to my Unicron. Ooh. They talk about like the big bads, right? The planet devourers. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Jason. Absolutely. But you're right. This feels like this would be a normal release that they're not doing as a normal release, especially at 179. This is a little bit curious to me. Maybe it's because they're like, we haven't done a Transformers one in a while. We only had one actually, right? So what would be something else we could do? And they chose this.
Yeah, or maybe they're just trying to give people a break on their wallets.
Yeah,
you know, it's in, relative to everything else, it's short money. So maybe, we'll do it. They know it's going to get funded because it is cheaper than every other HasLab project.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the unlocks are going to be amazing.
Yeah, and maybe that's just it. Maybe that's what they're going for here. There's a one unlock at 1,400, which is
a gun,
which is kind of lame. They're like, listen, you only spent $179. We can only go so far. So you got a tier 2 at 17 and a tier 3 at 20. If the gun is the 14, John, what's your guesses on the tier 2?
A stand. Like a figure stand, maybe. Tier 3 will probably be, I don't know, does it come with a sword?
There you go. Oh my god. Let's see. Space Cowboy, yeah, only 98 more super chats before Galactus. There you go. And Jason Pittman, friend of the show. It was a slow week at HasLab, so Japanese Transformer.
Yeah, maybe the HasLab guys just throw ideas in a hat.
Right? But again, this is so not for me. I feel it's disingenuous for me to knock it at all. It's like
oh yeah. I don't know enough about it. I know they did a masterpiece of this figure, so it's not going to be the first American iteration of this. So someone in the States can buy it easy. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to say much.
But it's doing well. There's already almost well on its way to 5,000 backers with 42 days left.
Yeah, this will make it quick. Yeah. This won't have the Galactus.
And
is it going to happen problem?
And I think you're right. This is a good investment because if you're thinking about toys as investments, this one at 179, you could get 3 of them, and you've done a pretty good job at like just picking up one of the Titan class ones or a couple of them once they go on clearance, putting them away for a few years, and then eventually they pop back up, right? So I think you have a really good point to make here in that this is a good investment opportunity.
Yeah, probably an easy money doubling investment, because it happens with all the big Transformers. Like you said, when Metroplex went on clearance, Fort Max went on clearance, Trypticon, all that, there was a guy at the Greensboro show that was selling me Trypticons for like $30.
Yeah.
And I just put them away in storage for a couple of years. All of that stuff, I just put it away. And then at Christmas time, when people are spending money on eBay looking for certain things, they always go up. I haven't sold one for like less than $300.
Yeah, it's fair. We only need 96 more backers. And the thing is, I think YouTube takes half of whatever this money is anyway. So please don't feel like you have to do that to help you get it. But appreciate it nonetheless. Sebastian with a super chat. Putting in Galactus there. Appreciate it, good sir. But no, Natalie and Bruglia. Oh, it's been so long. Hello, this is Natalie. I'm very torn that this discussion tonight is not about Masters of the Universe. A big mistake, boys. I'll be counting down the days. Love, Natalie. Well, we're talking about He-Man next. Don't worry. We got some Masters of the Universe news to talk about. Not great news either.
You got to stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. It's coming up next. It's right next after we're talking about this Galactus. Phineas, Galactus blew Sentinel numbers away. Crazy. Did it? I thought Sentinel did amazing.
Sentinel did really well. Galactus had a higher threshold, a higher requirement, which was mind-boggling because, I mean, we figured it out, or Toy Guru, somebody figured it out where it was the cost, the minimum cost was like $5 million for the like the initial backing of it. That's that's a heck of a lot of money to say, oh, it's going to cost this for you guys to get one. $5 million.
Yeah, that's insane. Pop actor, I love you, Natalie. I think maybe Pop Actor is the Natalie account. I don't know. Have you noticed Natalie come back with a new album just to afford Galactus? There you go. The way streaming rights are nowadays, that's about it. You get a platinum record, you get $400 in streaming. Yeah, Team Hunter. If every viewer donates $5, holy moly! No, I'm working on a Patreon thing that I might unveil on our 2-year anniversary, but that is to come. Still working out what that would be fun to do, or something worthwhile anyway. Yo, Natalie, you got some Galactus money for Jay? Justin, we did talk about the new Doctor Doom head for Galactus, kind of lamenting how it didn't have, or they're not posting anything about it on the actual HasLab page. Phineas says 21,890 the final Sentinel numbers. So I guess so. I guess
I thought the Sentinel was like a 8,000.
It was an 8,000 target. But so when it's all said and done, this one will have more backers, even though it had a higher threshold to pass. So interesting. Bearded Toy Guy, did you know that Torn wasn't even Natalie's song? She covered it. What? There's another Torn out there?
Really?
Huh. All right.
I'm gonna sully my 90s memories.
All right, let's make Natalie happy. Let's go to the He-Man news, but it's not good news. Just gonna prepare everybody right now. Josh bought his second Galactus, one to sell. There you go. They're talking about toys, investments. That's what you're doing right there. But again, I feel like that one you buy and you hold, right, for a little while, or do you buy and you sell right away for something like Galactus?
You're probably going to want to wait a couple of years,
right?
Yeah, because these, I assume, are going to be on Big Bad and Entertainment Earth, right?
Yeah.
So you really usually want to wait until both of those places are out of stock before selling. So if you have the money to be able to buy one to put it away, smart.
Yeah, agreed. Pop Actor the Flock Panther is heading to Toys R Us. Hey, there you go, for the Canadian. To our friends up north, which I think Pop Actor's from Canada. PD Dubs is here. Hey, I'm like, hey, PD Dubs, good to see you. Always good to have you aboard. Gary says Edna Swap wrote and recorded, but Natalie's version released first for some reason. Interesting. There you go. And she's got all the fame for it. Jay, ready the no button. Indeed. The no button's getting ready. Mini Thins and Boone's Farm sullied John's 1990s memories.
I was never a Boone's Farm drinker.
Is anyone, though? I don't think anyone is. It's just kind of,
yeah, you just deal with it.
Exactly. You don't enjoy it. You don't do it for pleasure.
You only ingest it. That's it.
Exactly. Oh man. With 22,000 backers, there's going to be a lot of competition for a while to flip, but 1 or 2 away for years. Now the Sentinel is an army builder, so that you can flip sooner, in my opinion. I think that's a really good point there. Definitely a hold for a couple of years, and then the supply will thin out, and then you can look at Castle Grayskull, where forever you'd be lucky if you got even for years, and now the things are well over $1,000 for one, right?
Yep.
So we'll have to see how that works out. All right, now it is time to talk about Powercon in not a great way again. They did a little update. One about just saying mass, which again makes sense, especially with Delta variant going on. it's the logical and smart thing to do. So that's not that big a deal. The tucked away here at the bottom of this post is that the figures for PowerCon have shipped, right? They're on a shipper from China. Yep. And I guess all the ports in California are backed up. It's still a mess in this COVID world that we live in. And this is what they said. The PowerCon exclusive product is here, except, well, it's stuck on a ship. We are hopeful they will get that product unloaded and delivered in time for the convention, but there is a very real possibility the product might not get off the docks in time for when our show starts. So, if this happens and you show up to find no exclusives made it to PowerCon, you will have two options. One, we will give you a full refund of the cost of the exclusives following the conclusion of PowerCon. Two, you can pay to have them shipped to an address of your choosing, but please note that shipping has gotten to be fairly pricey. Should the exclusives not arrive in time, we will email all attendees within a week or two after PowerCon to ask which option you prefer. Please note that the backup at the ports is not the fault of PowerCon or Mattel. As we mentioned earlier, product is sitting there on a ship, and we are still hopeful it will show up. And as who said it? Was I Brandon 3G? I can't remember who said it. But anyways. Oh, man. What a gut punch.
That's a bummer.
As someone that is literally flying to LA for the weekend, like I'm flying out Saturday morning, getting there, taking part in the Saturday festivities, hanging out with friends like Caesar and James at the show, going to meet up with Ralph because he lives right by there, and then meeting up a couple other friends to watch the Dodgers Padres play the next day, and then flying back that night on Sunday. This is a gut punch because it is
that's a real bummer,
right?
And you know what really stinks?
What?
Probably after going to PowerCon, there's probably half of the people there, whether they were attendees or vendors, are from out of the US. I mean, there was a major, the community there was from all around the world.
Yeah.
So for these people that were going there and hoping to pick these things up,
not hoping, expecting, right?
Expecting, expecting to pick these things up.
You were expecting it.
And now they're being told that they have to pay for shipping, and they're going to have to pay custom stuff on all this because they're not bringing it on their persons into, wherever.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to pay duties on this stuff if they decide to have it shipped. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, one, I feel bad for Val. I feel bad for the PowerCon crew because I know the intentions were good. The intentions were pure. And the fact that they sold out so quick and it was a big controversy. We're all ticked off. It was not a great experience. But for those of us that bought tickets for the show and are flying out there, which is not cheap, it is an expense to do all that kind of stuff. At least we're like, okay, well, at least we're getting the things there, and that's one less stressful thing. But now that last bit of advantage to putting all that money to go out and travel and do this thing has been lost because we're going to have to ship it anyway at great expense. Now just makes it a crappy experience all the way around. It hits everyone, which is a big bummer. And yeah, I just think it's this is where. But if I did have to do a bit of Sunday night quarterbacking, where we know that shipping and supply chain has been messed up the whole pandemic. It's well known that's been the case. Why didn't they just say, you know, we don't know for sure. There's always a chance, just the way things are, that this could get foobarred. And like, why risk it? Maybe there wasn't as much of a chance back then, but there was still a chance just because we've seen it. Every single thing, shipping's been weird. Some things maybe show up, some things don't. Or Target will get one thing instead of like the full allotment they were supposed to get. Like, it's been messed up this whole pandemic. So why roll the dice and risk it when you had a pretty easy way of getting the exclusives last year during the pandemic? Where it was just through Big Bad Toy Store, right? Or was there some other ones that were doing it as well? I got mine through Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
But why not just do the same thing you did the year before this time and ship them all and not stress about having to have stock at the convention when there's still so much in the air? It's better than it was a year ago, but it's still so much in the air that we don't know. Why not, you know, just do it that way instead of stressing about maybe something as bad as what may happen to those of us that are attending PowerCon may very well happen, and we won't get our exclusives at the show.
I'm kind of on the other side of that, where when the PowerCon exclusives were announced, right, and they were shown, they didn't show prototypes, they showed finished pieces. So that stuff was probably finished months prior. Like the packaging is done, it's all ready to go. It's sitting in a warehouse somewhere, who knows. Why didn't they get that stuff done a little bit earlier? Like, why wasn't the process further along? Because it's not like it was a pre-order or you know, they didn't show us mocked up images or anything like that, like asking or trying to get the feel of will these sell? They knew they were going to sell. They knew the quantity that they were making. They knew everything. The groundwork was finished. Why wasn't it a month or 2 months ahead?
No,
You're right. There's 100 different other things they could have done. But also maybe they couldn't do it earlier because factory production is incredibly slowed down because of a massive backlog. There's 100 different things that going wrong. It sucks for Val. That's the big thing.
And again, because we know, you and I know, we've done a little itty bitty, not a big deal convention here, and it's a labor of love. You do it because you love it. Like, it's not you're becoming rich off of this idea, you know,
right?
And so it's clearly a labor of love, and it's just thing after thing going wrong. So gonna cross our fingers that hopefully the exclusives show up there and it's not that big of a deal. But the fact that this is a very real possibility that they're posting about it is a bummer. But let's give a little bit of a shout out positive here. At least they posted about it now, right? They probably like, crap, this may happen. Just get out now, instead of like we get there on the first day of the show, like, oh, it's not there. Sorry.
You can play the sad trombone from your phone in line.
Yeah, exactly, right. Because Mattel did that. Matty collected that a few times at Comic-Con, right? Where it's like it's you're at the show, and Gleekgate was one of those examples where it's like having like, oh, we don't have enough, so we just ran out. and when you're in the show, you're in the convention, you're like, what? What's going on? So at least they're posting it early. They're preparing us for the worst case scenario. And we'll kind of, hopefully, fingers crossed, it does come out, and if it doesn't, then I don't know. I'm going to be paying more. I'll have to sell more stuff to offset the cost of that. But yeah, honestly, Mattel should help. Should help cover the shipping. Val is on the fans of Power live stream right now. I feel bad for him. Dang, yeah, exactly. Is there things that have been better? Sure, but still, it's a fan leading this thing, doing this thing for other fans. So I think we need to give some grace there. But we can be upset, we can be disappointed, but we can still be, you know, good people to this person. Renders says the vibe is going to be something else at PowerCon this year. That's for sure. That's for sure. So
I think once everybody's there together, that kind of bad news won't matter. True. People are going to be happy to be at PowerCon regardless, I think. But that does sting. That does sting a little bit.
So Saturday, September 11th, 8 a.m. registration opens. 9:30 pass holders can come to the convention. 10 a.m. PowerCon officially opens. 10 to 12 toy room is open. And then the actual content, 10 expanding Origins of Master of the Universe. These are all streaming online too, which is good. Building Eternia, the Mega Constructs. So that's exciting. So building Eternia, does that mean we're actually going to get an Eternia playset for Mega Constructs? That'd be interesting.
It would be. Hope if they do it justice.
Masters of the Collector Universe, you may have seen some exclusive drops from Mattel Creations, like the Art of Engineering Skeletor and Shogun Skeletor. Mattel designers are here to tell you all about the process and what's in store next, so maybe some good drops there. Mondo and MOTU Toy Talk come hang with Mondo team as they discuss future of their 1/6 scale premiums. Masters of the Mini Comics, it's mini comic reunions from the town behind the 80s. He-Man and She-Ra mini comics joined together. So that's pretty cool. Toy Room is open to the public in 4 to 6. Oh, so they close it in the middle of the day. That's kind of interesting.
The floor?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Very interesting.
It gives everybody a break before all the festivities run into the late night. Because they do.
Cosplay contest. Mainstream closes for public for the day. After hours. Nice. I am not staying out this late because I am not that kind of person. So whoever does, enjoy it.
I'll tell you what, that I stayed up really late one night. That's Saturday night. Oh my God. And I was already jet lagged really bad.
Yeah.
But I had such a good time. That show, it was the anniversary of the 87 movie because it was 2017.
Yeah.
And Anthony DeLongis, who played Blade in the 87 movie.
Oh, cool.
He had a table in the convention hall. But then afterwards, you know, I was just out like having dinner at the bar and, you know, met a ton of people. And he was just kind of hanging around. So I was like, "Oh, you're gonna go in and watch the movie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll go in." And I'm like, "Do you wanna grab a drink?" He's like, "Yeah, give me a scotch." So I grabbed both of us a drink and we sat and we watched the movie together. Just talked back and forth. Yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. Conventions are great for that, you know, because I think it's especially because you have celebrities and stuff show up to those things, and it's really neat when you get those types of experience. That's the fun of doing these. Honestly, it's what Colleen and I love about going to Comic-Con every year. It's just those types of moments. But for me, this will be pretty quick. I think we get in Saturday morning, so we'll fly right in, probably drop stuff at the hotel and like hit it up, and try to do some of the panels. Hopefully they're pretty easy to get into. So more than likely, I will not go to the Mega Constructs one, but I'll try to go to the Collector Universe and the Mondo one. Is there an expanding Origins? I don't know if I'll make it to this one though. I wish that was later in the day. 10:30 a.m. I can't remember when we get in. We leave Saturday morning in Raleigh, and then I think we get in 9 a.m. So we'll see if I can make it in time for that one. If not, we will see. Oh, hold on. So we got a spammer in the chat. I don't want to post it on the thing, but holy moly, let me block this. And if that is a real thing, I'm sorry, but blocked. We don't need that many on here.
Said it once was enough.
Anywho, So yeah, exciting stuff for that. Hopefully you guys saw. I marked it as spam, so I believe it should be removed from the chat. Hopefully that's the case. I blocked the user. So bummer about PowerCon. We'll see how it goes, but still excited to be going. A couple weeks away, right? I think it's just a couple weeks.
Yeah, just 2 weeks, right?
Yep. So needless to say, won't be here for Toy Geeks on Sunday, but maybe we could do it Monday. I'll be jet lag, but maybe we can do it Monday night. Just kind of recap all of the stuff from PowerCon, and I'll do my best to film stuff there. I may do like another video, just kind of recapping the experience for that Saturday. And again, if any of you all are going to be there, buddy Caesar and I, we'll probably walk around together. And but if you see me, say hi. I love. It's great having a community like we have here, and it's really neat to like meet the online friends in real life. It's crazy. It's really fun. It's another fun thing about going to conventions and stuff is like you have these friends that you make online, and we get to meet them in real life. It's a really cool experience. So if you see me walking around, please say hi. Love getting to meet you all IRL. All right, last bit is these Street Sharks.
Oh my god.
Can I just if the PowerCon news gets the Vader no, these definitely get the one, we have friends of the channel that are well-known YouTubers, Instagrammers, reviewers that get samples sent to them to review, like Toy Shiz, friend of the show. And I feel bad for those that get like the review samples and have to be kind still in a certain extent, like Pixel Dan's review, where I could just get the sense that he maybe wanted to be more negative than he probably, probably could be. I don't know what the things are, but anyways, being fair but also not being too hard on it. And but they didn't send me any, so I can just say these are the most overpriced pieces of crap I've seen post online in a long time.
They are terrible. Terrible.
God. And when I first saw the picture, I was like, what? Is this even Street Sharks? Or this looks like knockoff Street Sharks. This looks like something you would find at a Tijuana swap meet for
right
$2 or something. Like I've been to a Tijuana swap meet. This is what you would find at
they're like those blow mold figures.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Oh my God. I guess these are like prototype versions of what eventually, like, because I guess this is before they became our favorite Man Sharks of the 90s. The Street Sharks started as sketches, so this is like one of the sketches they did. But why in the world would anyone want one of these? Because it's not
Street Sharks.
No. The hallmark of Street Sharks is the oversized heads and the action features, and these don't have any of it.
No. And this guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a figure that's already made, right? Like he was a drawing, a sketch for a character that already came out. Ripster has 3 or 4 different iterations already from the vintage series.
Yep.
He's a great figure. The other figures are sketches for figures that were never released. Why would they take a figure that's already done, or a character that's already done?
Again, Ripster is an iconic character, right? Look at
right. Yeah, he's like one of the main guys.
Yeah, but this doesn't look. It's awful.
It's rip offster. It's so bad.
Oh my God, you're right. You're right.
And like they're trying so hard to make it look 90s. Like the super, I mean, it's super sheeny, glossy sort of, I don't know, it's like a weird metallic paint
Yeah.
where the paint on the other figures on like Vintage Street Sharks is very like flat and muted, you know, because
Yep.
they had like leather jackets and
Yeah.
you know.
There's no shiny chrome bits or
No,
whatever.
because they're rubber.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, of course, they didn't hold up well because
No.
the rubber flexes and the paint doesn't. But
Yeah.
still, that
Like what is this? So paranoid. So carcass is more, but it's like, why would you name it that when everyone's gonna be like carcass? Because that's what these look like. Like
Right.
they want us to tear this apart, right? If you're gonna name a figure carcass, like why?
It's so bad.
And again, so
Why does it have the same fish on the hands that it does on the head? They should have made them different.
I don't know.
Oh, that's so terrible.
So yeah, not even, I guess, doesn't even really look like that at all. But yeah, I think somebody said carbonized, like Star Wars. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't like that carbonized look at all. The only one that kind of remotely feels kind of Street Shark-ish is Clambo, where he kind of has that big, bulky midsection because of the clam feature, and it's kind of an action feature. This is the only one that remotely feels slightly Street Shark-ish to me.
Yeah, like his paint looks good. They did try and do that weird fading paint on his guns, but that figure looks like it would fit in with Street Sharks or Toxic Crusaders, Bucky O'Hare, anything from the era.
Yeah,
the others, it's like they just knocked off a figure to try and make it fit in with something.
Oh, it looks bad.
Okay, so if these had a $20 price tag, something in the back of my head says they wouldn't look that bad. But $75?
That's a really good point. So, you see the $75 price tag, like, oh, $75 for all three, still seems a bit steep. Wait, what? 75 a piece? For 5 POA? $75, $75, $75. So that's $225, right? Total plus tax.
Yep.
To get 5 points of articulation, super glossy, knockoff looking figures.
Terrible. Terrible. They are so bad. Terrible. This one, I mean, that's the only one I would buy. If it was at a $20 figure, that's the only one I would buy.
At $20, like, oh, it's steep, but he's kind of cool. Like, cool. But like, what is like? Look at the weird paint on the gun. It looks like that kind of cheap spray paint kind of.
Yeah, it looks oversprayed.
Yeah,
it looks like it was painted purple. The thing next to it's supposed to be painted blue, and they got paint oversprayed on that.
Yeah. Oh. Caesar, it's art, Jay. You don't get it. Gary, not Jossum, Mattel, not Jossum.
No. Nope. This guy looks like it would be Rambo in SpongeBob's world.
Yeah, right, exactly. A Fortnite ripoff definitely has a bit of a Fortnite feel. Just the colors, like I think I'm not dogging on the vibrant colors or anything, but it just doesn't feel like Street Sharks. I just, again, just going back to the classic Street Shark figures, that's what everybody has in their mind, right? Like the very oversized midsection, big arms, just like kind of disproportionate features, and some type of action feature of some sort. And again, like I saw this shark, the Ripster ripoff, Ripley, and I was like, is this a joke? Is this April Fool's? So I'm kind of bummed. I was kind of like, oh, cool, like bringing some Street Sharks back, awesome. Who wants this? Even if you're a diehard Street Sharks fan, do you buy this? If you're a diehard Street and you have a collection of Street Sharks, say you have a shelf full of Street Sharks, none of these would fit with those.
Right.
Walking like, why do you have these weird looking figures with your Street Sharks?
Did you get that one from the Mexican flea market?
Yeah.
I think if a Street Shark collector had seen the old sketches of these, maybe they buy it just as a, I've been looking at these sketches for 20 years. I'm kind of interested a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, if they were going after just the casual collector, they really missed the mark.
Oh, swing and a miss. And when you have like the Vin Diesel toy fair thing, like
that was going around everywhere this week.
Right? Exactly. And make like a Vin Diesel shark or something. I don't know. There's just so many cool things you could have done. And Nick Dillinger says it well in a Vin Diesel voice. These sharks aren't family. I don't know if that's good Vin Diesel, but that's my best Vin Diesel. And and again, I'm not a big Street Sharks fan. I think I talked about it last week. I had this weird thing with all the Turtles offshoots where I was like, it's not Ninja Turtles. I'm Ninja Turtles through and through. But I've always appreciated them, and especially now as a toy collector, I really appreciate that they're really expensive if you want nice ones. And so I've never taken the dive to collect them. But if these were kind of a cool sets and they were 20-something bucks and they were bringing back some new characters with some classic characters, I might have like pulled the trigger. But this is like a big whiff, swing and a miss. And I don't know. I don't even think a diehard. And to your point, like this isn't like He-Man or Star Wars or Ghostbusters where you have these unreleased figures or unreleased sketches that never happened. Like, I don't know of any Street Sharks fan groups that are like, oh man, we never got this version of the Street Shark that looks nothing like the Street Sharks we know and love.
Right.
And so Darth Vader says it well. Street Sharks aren't big enough to do concept figures. And concept figures that don't look anything like Street Shark figures.
Right. You know what they should have done? Just looking at this again. Mm-hmm. They should have used the arms and legs of an Origins figure and just done a new torso and crotch area.
Oh, that'd be cool.
At least given some articulation. They have the parts to do to use Origins figures.
Yeah.
And they would definitely fit in parts wise.
You're right. All you need is the joint thing that is the same and they snap in like Glyos does.
Yep. This figure right here, Carcass.
Yeah.
that would fit in Origins body without any changes aside from the wetsuit top.
Yeah.
And sneakers.
You're 100% right. Like, why not? You've developed this really, I think it's really clever and it's understated and undersold on the Origins and the Masters of the WWE verse and I guess the WW Superstars line. That the leg, like everything, you can interchange the parts and stuff like that. It's really cool. Glyos has been incredibly successful as a system because of the interchangeability. Mm-hmm. So you've already put the money into this Origins tooling. You're 100% right, John. Why not take advantage of that?
Then they just couldn't charge $75, I guess.
At least it could be like, at least I don't have to, I get more than 5 points of articulation.
Right. It's so bad. Why? I don't know why they didn't think of that. Do they not think, that they can just swap properties like that? Because then, at least if they were using other parts, a Masters collector might buy them. Just for the parts.
Yep.
Just for the parts alone, for customizing.
And they did that with the wrestling line.
Yeah. Yep.
That's Ninja Turtle Nick. Someone give this guy a job, Mattel. I agree. John, you should be consulting Like any decision they make, they need to consult you first because yeah, this was a big swing and a miss. $75 each. They went live on Friday to pre-order. Do these sell out or do they pretend they sell out to save face?
I bet they pretend to sell out. Although, whatever happened with that Grogu thing?
You're right.
That literally just faded away. It was they put it up there and then they just never made mention of it. It was like it never existed. It was, that was it.
Yeah.
They knew it was failing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just awful.
Oh, look at it. It just looks so cheap. They're tiny. It doesn't. Ugh.
And that would be that's a perfect Origins.
It is
size. It's probably exactly the same.
Oh, CAF. The worst part was that they were so excited to announce this. I was kind of excited. I was like, "Oh, cool! That's a neat toy line that there is a fan base for. That it has gained steam in the past decade or so as things people collect." And this is who thought this was a good idea? Who greenlit this?
And sent samples out before they even announced it to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Nick Miller said in a different chat, someone mentioned that these feel like art toy prices. I definitely paid $75 plus on a Kit Bash toy or a Sofubi piece from Japan. Not having the core figures was a miss. Listen, I totally get that there's art figures for certain prices, but it's probably too far back now. Can't remember who said it. Please forgive me that I'm not giving you the. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I can't find it, but most of what our collecting is driven by is there's this element of nostalgia, right? And something that Origins has knocked out of the park is it looks like the stuff we grew up with. So it scratches that nostalgic itch, but it gave modern articulation and the swappability of parts and some new features that made it worthwhile collecting, right? So it was nostalgic and new at the same time. But there's even ones like the Kenner Classics line, which I adore, which is just a straight up nostalgic play, which is fine too. Like if you're going to do it like that. That's fine. This doesn't look anything like a previous figure. And the thing that's new, it doesn't connect it all to the thing that you're nostalgic to.
Exactly.
So you've missed on all fronts. It's really expensive. So price is out of reach. Doesn't look anything like the thing that you grew up with or you might be nostalgic to. And it's not modern whatsoever because it's a 5 POA toy.
I get trying to make it an art toy, but I don't think there's any art about this.
No.
Like the Mad Saki He-Man and Battle Cat set. People in the art toy community knew who he was already. So like when he paired up with Mattel, somebody was going to buy it regardless, just because it had his name on it. And it was different because it was like the weird paint. It looked like a piece of art. This looks like a piece of crap.
Shawnee box. Street Sharks. Street Sharks. That's it. This is now the title for these figures from now on. Street Sharks is the name of these. Oh my god. Anyways, it's Elias, that's fair. Since we're running along, we're talking about it. Let's just close it out and say this is a bummer. And I want to do one other thing here. Here it is. Nightmare. I wanted to pull this up. I hope they aren't going to use the negative fan reaction to justify there's no interest in Street Sharks figures. And I 100% agree. I hope Mattel doesn't look at the responses but like, oh, they hate Street Sharks. I guess we're not going to do anything with Street Sharks for another 20 years, because that is not the case. I think there is a fan demand out there, but you didn't do anything to meet the actual demand because these don't look anything like Street Sharks.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to sell them to the fans, put them on an Origins body, but the torso needs to look more like the original figures.
Mhm. Yep.
The huge exaggerated mouth,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Not this. I don't get it.
Yeah. And we'll close out with Gary's thought here. Something I never thought I'd say: the Street Sharks deserve better.
Well said.
Oh man. All right. John, it is now time to talk about something that we talk about every single week. As toy collectors, we go out and we buy toys, and on our show, we share our recent toy hauls. So, John, I can't remember. Did you go first or did I go first last time?
I never remember anymore. I never remember anymore. I think I went first last time.
Okay, that's fair. That sounds right. Mine are still over here. Hold on one second.
All right. I do have a few things tonight.
All right. So, hunting for things like I still haven't found the battle armor, the shiny battle armor He-Man with Battle Cat set. I have not seen that. I have not found Wind Raider, even though people are finding them. Even though Mike from Nerd Bombers has them, but he's gotta get his butt to the flea market or Raleigh-ish area or mail them to us so I can have it. So hopefully the stars will cross there and I'll get the Wind Raider and the Wave 6 figures. Hopefully that comes at some point in time soon. And I'm just giving Mike grief. I know he's really busy and it's really tough to pull those kinds of things off. But anyways, I was able to find one of the things on my list that I'm looking for. I already mentioned it at the top of the show, and that is it's still in the Target bag. I haven't even taken it out of the Target bag yet.
Bag fresh.
Bag fresh. But I was Colleen needed a headlamp because she was geocaching in the sewers. Yeah, my wife's cool. But so I was going out to try and find her a headlamp. I love lamp. And at the Target I was looking at in Cary, I think they had the new Plasma Series Ghostbuster figures. So they didn't have all of them, so I wasn't able to get all of them. But I was able to get 4 of the 6 from this first wave. So I got all the old guy Ghostbusters, the old timers. So I got the Winston Zedmore, the Ray Stantz, and the Peter Venkman. So the way I'm going to do the video review is I'm going to review the old timer, the OG Ghostbusters first. So I'm going to do that first. And then once I find the rest of the kid crew, I will do a video review of those 3. But I did find one of them. And as a longtime podcaster myself, since 2005, so over 15 years, I'm glad that podcast was my first new kid character that I found alongside the OG ones as well. So when I do the video review, he will not be included. We'll wait till I find the rest of the kids from that line. So I still need Lucky and Trevor. I still need Lucky and Trevor to complete this wave of Plasma Series figures. I will say on first glance in the box, they darkened the jumpsuits, so they actually look better. If there was one big criticism of the first Plasma Series figures, is the jumpsuits were too tan looking. They didn't have that kind of grayish look that they had in the movie. The sculpts look darn near the same. I'll compare them side by side to the ones they released last year, but it looks pretty darn close. So excited to do that, and so be on the lookout. Probably Tuesday when these my review of the OG old versions of Venkman, Zedmore, and Stantz will be dropped on the channel. So hit that subscribe button and that bell icon.
And they all come with a Proton stream now?
They all, well, the podcast Podcast does not have a stream, but the OG Ghostbusters have a stream. But Podcast has the torso. He has like that middle section of the Sentinel.
Oh yeah.
And he has a bunch of mini puff stuff too, which is cool. And he has this weird little like talisman looking thing, which I think. Yeah. A spoiler alert of some sort. But still $22.50 a piece for these at Target.
That's the inflation.
That hurt. That hurt. For 4 figures, by the time the state of North Carolina got their sales tax in on it, it was $100, which was a lot. And I still have 2 figures to find. But I guess that's again the pain we feel as toy collectors right now.
But you're gonna get an extra figure when you're done because you're gonna build the dog.
It's a Terror Dog Sentinel, so it's different than the other ones I already have.
That's how they make the pain less.
That's Phineas. That's 1/3 of a street shark. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Alias Angel Alias. Can't wait until we start paying $29.99 for standard figures. Yeah. Whew. Indeed. Nick Tunger in for a penny, in for a hellhound. Deep Under, where's Plasma Series Slimer? Yeah, how have we not gotten a Slimer yet? And also, we'll see. Maybe that's like wave 3 of Plasma Series, because this set of 6 figures does not have, I think it's Sophie. I assume we'll get some other characters as well. So more to come. Maybe eventually we'll get the Slimer. Maybe it'll be a Slimer. It's Muncher, right? 2-pack, the blue guy. This Terror Dog statue with 5 points of articulation. I don't know if it has 5 points of articulation. I think the legs are static. So
I think it's just, or does it have elbow articulation?
I don't think so.
Maybe a 3 or 4 point.
The extra parts are kind of hidden in the bottom of the box. It doesn't look like that much articulation on the. Yeah, no, there's no elbow articulation. So it's only cut joints at the arms, and I guess articulation at the head for the Sentinel Terror Dog. So less articulation than the $75 Street Shark figure. So I should be thankful that the Street Sharks had 5 POA. Oh man. Creation Matrix. I also got blackout drunk last night and then checked my email this morning and saw I bought a Galactus.
Well, that's one way to get it done.
Yeah, right? We've all had that, right? Had probably too much to drink and do online shopping, and you're like, shit, I bought this.
Yeah. I'm absolutely positive I can say I've done that and bought toys that way.
It's a little surprise that shows up at your doorstep.
Right. When did I order this?
Music Fan Slimer, Janine, Dana, Mr. Gooberson, Carrie Coon's character. Yeah, I think there's more to come for sure. Anyway, let's go to, I guess, you, John. Let me make sure. Darth Vader and I demand Plasma Series RGBs. Honestly, I want Super 7 Ultimates Real Ghostbusters toys. That's who I want to do it.
Yeah. Then we'll get a deep bench that way.
Exactly. I want Sam Hain. I want Sandman. I want Boogeyman. Like, there's just so much deeper cuts that I want that people have wanted for a very long time that I don't think quite get hit in a main retail release.
Yep. All right,
you're up.
This week, I got my heavy artillery roadblock.
Yeah. Oh, he looks great.
It's such a good figure. Trying to get the lighting in there.
That looks
you know what bugs me outside of them making 3 roadblocks?
My gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so you got 3 roadblocks. I don't think that any of them look like they have the same face sculpt.
Interesting.
Now, granted, the Cobra Island one has a full beard, but you could kind of tell if they sculpt a beard over an existing head and it just doesn't look like they did that.
Yeah.
If it's the same character, why do they have different faces?
Is this looking at gift horse in the mouth kind of thing where maybe you could say they are alternate reality versions of the case? So you truly have 3 different roadblocks if the head sculpt is the same on all 3, right?
Right. Yeah. Or I just have a heavy duty and a stalker. But still, it's such a good figure, and it is the only roadblock all music.
Right. I agree. I feel like this is the roadblock we all wanted. Even though I do like the other roadblocks, especially the Cobra Island one looks badass.
Yeah. But this is so true to
his
vintage counterpart.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome figure. Highly suggested if you haven't gotten him yet. Highly. So this week I finished my Sky Commanders collection.
Ooh, nice.
Now I'm not going to show it all,
okay.
But by doing that, I bought an entire Sky Commanders collection.
Oh
I bought a complete collection which had multiples of 3 or 4 of the backpack sets. Had like 2 and 3 of each one. But it did have the mail away. So I have 2 mail aways now, which up until last year I didn't even know they existed. But this is the only piece that I needed.
Wow. So you bought a whole collection to get that one piece.
Just to get this. Now I'll part out the rest.
Of course.
The headquarters is better condition than the one I had. And the one that I had wasn't complete. It was missing a canopy and a missile.
So you're gonna keep that one and sell the incomplete one?
Yeah, nice. I'll sell the incomplete one and sell the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
But all the figures had their, like the zip line was still intact, attached to their back. So yes, I bought a complete collection just for one thing. But I got a good price on it. I got a really good price on it.
Oh my God. That's awesome. There's nothing better. Well, it's kind of, there's this really awesome feeling of completing a collection and then also sadness that you complete a collection. So what do you feel more? Excitement that you have completed it, or kind of sadness that the journey has ended?
Excited that I completed it. Because it wasn't one of those things where I was always after it. It was one of those things where if I found something cheap that I needed, I would buy it if it was cheap. I never paid what a lot of the stuff goes for. So it was just like, if I found it, I'm happy. It just happened. It was like the stars aligned where somebody had a complete collection that all had multiples. Yeah. And it was a good price. Yeah. That's awesome. That's that.
That's a really good pickup. Really happy for you. And there's a few, I have the complete Kenner Superpowers line, but there's a couple that are missing an accessory, and I still have just kind of waited, like, I don't need it. And once it's here, it's done. And same for vintage Star Wars. I have a complete collection, everybody with their accessories, everything's 100% complete. But I'm still missing Yak Face, and there's this kind of like, I think a couple Greensboro shows ago, there was a Yak Face. I'm like, oh, I don't really need it right now, because then again, once I get it, it's done. That's it. The hunt is over, and I don't want it to end.
Unless you haven't gone into the droids and Ewoks line, right?
You're right, I haven't, but I don't want to. Yeah. I don't need to, and I don't want to. Other than I would love a droid, C-3PO, and R2. But Hasbro needs to stop making $500 figures for me to go do that. Carlos subscribed. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you everybody that subscribes. T-Ponder, I gotta run to the store before they close. Well, good luck, T-Ponder. Hopefully you find some cool stuff.
Hurry up.
Comics complete Superpowers collection. Nice. I guess I'm the most jealous I've been of you since I found a Turbo Man. Thanks, Comics. Don't be too jealous. But you can watch the toy room tours if you want to see it. It's right. Probably can't see. I think it cuts off now in this shot, but it's right there. Very thankful. Colleen probably remembers. That's one of the few collections that she has kind of paid attention to, because when I found the last one I needed for that one was the Cyborg, and she was really happy for me when I found a Cyborg, because that was like the last
The
piece.
last one.
But anyway, we did get some submissions for Stump John, but I'm gonna save those for next week on the show.
I got one more thing that I
Ooh.
told you about last week.
Oh yes,
I did get some Kenner Police Academy figures.
yes you did.
And in there, I didn't know how rare this figure was. The mail away Captain Harris.
I kind of want to buy it from you. If I wasn't so broke, but
I know if you didn't have a Galactus and an Optimus Prime,
try and buy. I really, because I think I have everything else from that line. I have darn near complete. There it is right there. Wait, I think I have all the figures from that line, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't need it.
It's one of the ones you'll find it in the wild somewhere.
Exactly, it'll show up some point in time. But what's funny is in that I bought it. I bought that whole collection in just one fell swoop. But in that collection, I have a stack of the those mail away inserts cutouts from the card backs. I have it somewhere in like my card back collection. But I have a stack of those if you need one of those to pair with it to make it more enticing of a sale.
Maybe.
Punky Brewster's dad, yeah, indeed, playing that. And you know what's sad is they canceled the new Punky Brewster show on Peacock.
I know that was pretty good it was the 90s. It had a big 80s 90s feel to it.
Oh yeah, it was definitely like cheesy, but it was fun. You turned me on to that one, and it was a fun show for sure. How many super chats for Jay to afford Captain Harris? It's not too bad, right? Like, what would that? Probably a couple $100, maybe somewhere on there.
Yeah. I think the last one went for $200 loose. I think Dallas Vintage Toys has one right now in the mailer. I think it's $800.
Mm-hmm. But DVT is always pretty pricey, but with good reason because they have every rare thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do a road trip sometime. Just go there because I really would love to go to that store. Dallas Vintage Toys. I've followed on Instagram forever. They got everything in that place.
Yeah, I want to go to that place in Canada too.
Oh yeah.
The one that has all the displays all around the tops of the shelves.
Mm-hmm. We need to do that. Like, just put a list together of like a toy hunt road trip.
Yeah,
we'll pitch the series to TLC or some cable channel like that.
Call it the Big Kid Bucket List road trip.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
Gary, I did not find it at Restore. it was an eBay mixed lot alongside this guy.
Oh. Phineas, you have to do it on motorcycles. I don't know if Colleen would allow me to own a motorcycle, but if it's for the show,
you can go in the sidecar.
No, I'm not. I will not be your Robin to your Batman, even though he's one of my favorite comic characters. Oh, but what if we had the Bat Cycle though? I would do it. I would definitely.
That would be awesome.
That'd be really cool.
We could have it planned out so anytime we have to cross a river, because that's going to happen, the Bat boat will be waiting for us.
Oh man! Oh, see, okay, we'd have to do it in a DeLorean, right? Like if we did the toy store road trip toy hunt, we'd have to get a DeLorean for it.
Yeah,
mainly because I've always wanted a DeLorean, so that's a good excuse to buy a DeLorean, right?
Although we wouldn't be able to buy much because that doesn't fit very much at all.
No, that's a good point. We'll get a DeLorean and then we'll like attach those little U-Haul trailers behind.
Yeah, one of those little cube U-Haul trailers that can fit like a recliner.
Yeah, exactly. That's all the space we need. Let's see. Nick Holmes. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Dallas Vintage Toys is worth visiting just for the Castle Grayskull walkthrough. Great store. Yeah, it looks amazing. They have a great selection. They know their stuff. For sure. It's powered by toys. Yeah, we'll have our own unique flux capacitor, but instead of trash, we throw in those crappy
Street Sharks.
Yes. Oh, man. Minifigure, we have to wait till next Sunday for Stump John. Oh man, listen, that makes the anticipation that much better.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of Toy Geeks. Join us Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where next week will be, I think, the last Toy Geeks before I will be with Colleen at Powercon in Anaheim, California, on that Saturday, on September 11th. And then John and I will do maybe a Monday night Toy Geeks that week to do to recap all of the Powercon news and stuff like that. So don't worry, we'll still cover it here on this show, as well as other videos on the Geek Dev Live channel. But next week, John and I will be here at our regularly scheduled time at 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, thank you to all in the chat. Thank you for a lot of super chats today. Thank you for everyone helping me get that much closer to a Galactus. But really, hopefully the people that really want a Clone Wars hot toy, they pull that trigger. If it's in your shopping cart, pull the trigger. If not, then it wasn't meant to be. Anywho, for those that get their Galactus, good luck. For those that bought a Street Shark, hey, listen.
Somebody has to.
Somebody has to. Somebody's got to fall on that sword. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye.